Welcome, Douglas County. My name is Kelly Robinson, and I am the Commissioner of the 2nd District. Welcome to my last State of the District. This is going to be a special edition of this. And before we even get started into it, I want to do a little flashback to set the tone. So stay right with me, and I'll be back and see you soon. Can I hear it?
Good evening, everyone. We welcome you on this special evening. Those of you who are in the audience here in the courthouse atrium, those of you who are watching live on DCTV 23, and those of you who are watching us over the internet on CelebrateDouglasCounty.com. Isn't technology wonderful? Thank you for being with us. I'm Wes Hallett. Tonight we celebrate our nation and our Constitution as newly elected and re-elected Douglas County officials take their oaths of office. For 219 years, Americans have placed their faith in the electoral process, and our elected representatives have formed the three branches of government: the judicial, the legislative, and the executive. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. The Constitution has withstood the test of time and provided the foundation for the American government for more than 2 centuries. It has bended, but it has not broken. It has been amended, but it has not been discarded. It has been the model for people around the world as they have struggled for their own freedoms. And tonight, we celebrate our freedom. We celebrate the freedom to choose our own leaders. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Let's celebrate our nation tonight. George Bancroft was the first major American historian. He stated that the best government rests on the people and not on the few, on persons and not on property, on the free development of public opinion and not on authority, because the magnificent author of our being has conferred the gifts of mind upon every member of the human race without distinction of outward circumstances. Public happiness is the true object of legislation. To accomplish this end by means of the people themselves is the highest purpose of government. I wish I had said that. The Douglas County Board of Commissioners consists of 5 elected members, 4 district commissioners, and the chairman. They form the legislative arm of the government, the body responsible to make the laws for the rest of us. District commissioners are elected by the residents of a certain geographical area, but they vote on all issues affecting all of the citizens of Douglas County. Commission District 2 covers the southern portion of the city of Douglasville, then heads east through Deer Lick Park towards Lithia Springs High School and Sweetwater Creek State Park and to the Cobb County line. District 2 Commissioner-elect Kelly Robinson is the CEO of Archie May, a national housing and education company involved in buying mortgages to sell on the secondary market. A graduate of strategic planning from Georgia State, Kelly holds a BBA in marketing and an MS in management. During his 20-year career, he worked for Prudential Bank and Electronic Payment Systems, Sapient, IXL, and Wachovia Bank, building his experience for his own firm and for his service to Douglas County as District 2 Commissioner. Kelly is the proud father of 2 sons, Kelly Jr. and Christopher. Kelly was elected as District 2 Commissioner in the November election in his first run for public office. The oath of office will be administered by the Honorable Hal Hamrick, Douglas County Probate Court Judge. I invite District 2 Commissioner Kelly Robinson to take the oath of office and then to address the citizens of Douglas County from the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, District 2 Commissioner-elect Kelly Robinson.
Greetings. I'm humbled, obviously being the first time running for office, to be here in front of you. And I figure I'd take the time just to share a little bit about who I am. In essence, again, I am Kelly Robinson. But what I'd like you to do is just open your ears just a little bit to allow me to sort of speak into your hearts about what I am. We awoke this morning as workers in a country called America, caught in an economic crisis, born by a degree of greed, resulting in the implosion of financial institutions and corporate businesses. But in recent times, you, as voters and citizens, told me that you believe in leaders who understand the fruit of temperance, the value of savings, and the strategic importance of safety. We awoke this morning, perhaps as parents, in a state called Georgia, caught in an academic crisis, resulting in underperforming school systems in certain places throughout our borders, seeded in part by a lottery of hope of flawed expectations. But in recent times, you told me that you believe in leaders who understand the fruit of patience, the value of study, and the principle of higher standards as a means to improve our local academic performance. We awoke this morning as taxpayers in an area called Douglas County, caught perhaps in a youthful identity crisis, born in a spirit of some insecurity, seeded in part by priorities of housing development, job creation, public safety, and regional collaboration that are separate and exist apart from a common vision. But you told me in recent times that you believe in a person who understands the fruit of goodness, the value of diversity, and the strategic principle of inclusive innovation. So tonight, sleep under a new blanket. For your cries have been heard and your votes have been validated. For come the beginning of the year, my generation will assume the mantle of leadership. My generation is one that understands that it is not to operate as a thermometer, mimicking your voices up and down. My generation understands its role is to serve as a thermostat, changing the atmosphere. I commit to you now openly, in unprecedented times of hard choices that so eloquently was already shared. I commit to listening to your concerns, I commit to understanding your desires, and I commit to rendering a decision to the best of my ability with my fellow commissioners with the guidance of Chairman Worthen. But you told me, Kelly, that's good. That's your reasonable service. Above everything else, what we expect of you is character. Therefore, Douglas County, let us go and grow to the next level. Let us truly become the best county to work, live, and play. I want to thank all of you for allowing me to come into your lives. I want to thank all of you for entrusting me to make decisions on behalf of your lives. And I look forward to serving all of you over the next 4 years as a Douglas County Commissioner. Thank you.
Welcome back, Douglas County. Wow. Now that was actually a throwback. Thank you, Farrell, for finding that video. He really went into the closet for that one. I got to think about that. I mean, that was back in, 2008, and that's when I was, roughly 42 years and a lot less gray hair back then in that time period. But a lot has changed since then. So what I'm going to do in this town hall is really share from my heart. And I don't have any speeches. It's straight from the heart. I want to give you an update over these past 15 years, these 4 terms that you have given me. It has been an absolute honor to serve. When I agreed to run for office, it wasn't about titles. It wasn't about red carpets or being seen. It was really about just serving the people. And so I set out over these 15 years and just suspended my life. I suspended my corporate career. For 15 years, I was in corporate America, and for the last 15 years, I've done nothing but serve you. Now, I probably was a little bit imbalanced because people got multiple things they got going on, companies and they work and so forth. I took it serious. I sold myself out that says, okay, I'm going to serve you. I'm going to serve the citizens to the best of my ability. And if I look back over this and I think about the video, and they talked about during that period of time back in 2008, think where we are. A housing crisis, as we so much have today. Think about where we are. We had the financial issues that we have, the interest rates today. Things come in cycles. And there's something my dad said, there's something about longevity. And I get it. Only now, being here this long, like, no, I get it. I know how it works. I know how it fits together. And I thank God that I accepted this call. This was purpose for me. It was purpose because it's like, I heard you guys. I wanted to serve you guys in such a way to give advocacy to your voice. Because that was key. What I saw missing, a question was asked. I was talking to Yvette. She was one of our PR director and stuff in communication. We were talking about these questions. And one of the key things that I picked up from back then is that, guys, what did I hear back then in your voices? It's pretty much the same thing today. The difference is that you've now seen it come to pass. It's one thing to hear cries and hear voices, but unless you're able to advocate for it and then legislate, then that's why people get frustrated with government, with their leaders. They don't see any fruit of their efforts. I mean, think about the corridors. You finally getting your roads paved. What? We had a great plan that was put in place. Thank you for the funding for that. But that was important. But that took a vested interest. In District 2, and by the way, my district is now pretty much Riverside, Thornton Road, Veterans, 92, a little bit of 166 around the corner, all right? Or 92, 166. So they shifted with the redistricting. So I'm the entire eastern wall now, not just down the middle of I-20. So I say that to say, put it in context. Look, I don't know nobody else, but our roads got paved. All our major corridors got paved. Paved. Riverside, paved. Thornton just got paved. Mighty Thornton, paved. Veterans, paved. What? 92, paved. But it took advocacy. That was important. Oh, don't talk about the Mighty Lee Road. That cut through, that widening. That was something you said. All this, what did you say? Congestion. I get it. And so I got this for District 2. I pretty much said when I came in, oh, we're growing up. We're waking up. We're waking up from that Great Recession. Look, we went through that. It woke up. But now when I look at it for District 2, guys, that's enough. We need to slow this thing down a little bit. Just enough. You got enough on the books. Just got to slow this thing down now. You don't want to be that dense, and it's coming. Let our infrastructure catch up. So that's my first pronouncement. Slow this thing down a little bit. All right. Secondly, when I think about the chateaus, the houses, I mean, think about it, guys. Even in your homes, I mean, we started resurfacing our communities. How many times? I mean, our district, my district, what? Mount Vernon, Brookmount, Greystone. You had to advocate for that. The system does not naturally do it. You want to listen where I'm like, well, I don't know about that, but I want these communities resurfaced because usually it's on the major arteries. And I'm only sharing this like, guys, this wasn't easy. You had to go fight to get this happen. So you think about the centers. You guys cried out like, what about our quality of life? What about public welfare, as the video said? Well, think about it this way. Look, we got a community center. Y'all said y'all wanted one. You said you wanted a senior center. Bang. That's important. Right, that your voices were heard. It took real efforts to put that on the list. to go champion, to go get votes, to get it done. You got to get votes. That is so important. That, in other words, it's not a dictatorship. You got to let everybody be. I'm up here with 5 people, but you got to get to 3. And that is so important. I say that to say as I'm pondering, and I'm thinking about the community. I'm thinking about your homes. This is families. You got an individual, you got families, you got subdivisions, you got a community, you got a county. Right now, think about it, I've got 35,000, 37,000 people. It's like a mega church. That had to be an under shepherd too. And I protected that flock. You want to come over here, you want to? Yes, I supported public safety. Yes. No politics aside, like I don't politicize the military. Pay public safety. How dare you politicize that? And I fought for it and got it passed. That's important. But think about it. Think about them cameras now. That was good legislation. And I think about the things that I heard, that I saw, that were important. That, look, guys, we did it. We made it. We did it. That was important. Anything you guys do, you want a street light? Did it. Bike lanes? Did it. Those were direct advocacy. And each one of those, one of you told me that, Commissioner Robinson, what do you think about this? Now, I can thank so many citizens, but one favorite is Miss Medina, Miss Mickey. It was back in 2009. She was the very first citizen to come up to me. Commissioner Robinson, we need buses out here. I'm like, whoa, I just got in office. Now, hold on, I'll come back, hold on. And she advocated. And so she just kept, okay, I got it. I saw about 5 years later, I said, we're not ready for that then. Not yet. There's a lot more we need to put in place. But I heard her. I mean, sometimes no doesn't necessarily be no, it's just not now. But that was important, guys. It's like, okay, I got to line this up because how are we going to pull this off? Because I understand how funding works. I understand where our current state of being is. So that was so important. But again, thank you, Mickey, because as you saw, obviously, that was important. Cars, alternative modes of transportation was so key. That was something. Everybody doesn't have big cars, 3 cars, 4 cars, trucks. You got two cars, 1 car, no car. Come on, guys, there's different needs. We just talked about that. Look at me. What am I going to do with a car? What am I going to do with a house? But there are different needs. It doesn't mean it's less than. But for all of those who have differences, I was like, let me create an atmosphere. I said, create that atmosphere. I'm not a puppet up and down, yes or no. I'm like, no, let's make some change. Let's get in here and make real change. And so I thank you for giving that opportunity to go. You gave me something to do. There was not one battle that I did not stand up for. Not one. Anything that came against our cause, what we were championing for, our values, I fought. And you see it manifested. I mean, even when we talk about the chamber and when we talk about what I want to call commerce, come on, guys, creating an atmosphere that was inclusive. That when back in 2008, think about where we are back in 2008, guys. Come on, the Great Flood came through, 500-year flood. It was a totally different place back then. Ooh, this growth hadn't popped yet. We were foreclosures. Think about it. It was dark. It was gray. It was like, woo, look at my very first video. It was just a different time of being. And we've come through that, as we always have done. We've come through COVID. We'll always come through. Whatever that tragedy, whatever happens, we'll come through and we'll be better for it. We'll be stronger. And so that was so important. So creating that atmosphere that no, everybody should have a chance to get in, not just the rich, the elite. I mean, Wes Talon did a great job with that, didn't he? Oh, he killed it, right. Public welfare, come on, guys. It's about the people. It ain't about property. It's about the people. It's about your voices. And so, I mean, think about it. To translate that for 15 years, it's like, I got to get his power back, but I got to breathe out. I became consumed with your will, your voices. I mean, I fought for everything you thought of. Anything you gave me I thought was important. For your district, centers were important. You said that. Think about the Boundary Waters. That's like a jewel for me. We already had the park, 500 acres, but now it's totally built out. Not only just has baseball fields, it's got soccer field, football field, equestrian, 1.5 mile as it relates to trail system. Come on, swimming pool was always there. Think about what else we got there. What? Basketball. Right. You can do anything. Your whole family can get there. Disc golf. That's important. Different needs, diversity. Oh, that senior center, Dr. Gilchrist and them over there, oh, they're killing it. Think about it. The number of people that are using that. That's what you asked for. You had pent-up demand. But here's my challenge. This is my next pronouncement, is that don't allow money to be concentrated. Don't let money be concentrated. It's got to be equitably distributed. That's key. What I saw when I came in is that the money was just, it wasn't conservative. It was just how it was going out the back door to other places. All right, it's going back to the friends of the system. Yeah, it was. I'm like, oh, that's how, look, nobody taught me, guys. I know how some of my peers feel, but nobody taught me, but I figured it out. I'm like, oh no, we're not gonna go down like that. So District 2, hey, here's it is, here's an opportunity. Oh, they resented me for sharing how to get 501c6s, how to redirect funding. It's like, but guys, it's too concentrated. It's not having any effect. All y'all having is y'all same little parties and stuff, but you're not inviting anybody. It's exclusive. And I'm about inclusion. So for District 2, think about it. You start getting invited to the galas. I gave y'all my tickets. It's like, come on, guys, this ain't about me. See, this never was about me. It was always about you. So for 15 years, look, I've pounded this thing. I've pounded the things that you needed. Oh, I went to bat for everything, and it was a call. It was a purpose. Like, Lord, I hope I get this right to the best of my ability. Look, I've been through everything. I've had all type of issues. I've been through divorce, but this one thing here, watch me rock. Let me fight. Let me know when they look at me like, okay, at least he stands up. I don't get every vote. I don't cry because a vote didn't go through. Y'all know me. Be grown. Keep moving. Next vote, next vote, next vote. But that's important, though, right? You got to stand up. You need democracy. So what a pleasure. But don't get me wrong. My voice is only about my advocacy. None of this I couldn't have done without my peers. Right? Now think about all the people that I've worked with over time that helped secure the things I've advocated for. I mean, think about public welfare. I mean, obviously I'm not going to forget mental health, our consciousness. That was key. Even that part, watching your lives go through that great recession. Oh my God. Grown men and women in my office crying, houses being broken. Like, guys, y'all remember that? See, let's keep this real. I don't know about all that, but look, what you need. All right, create an entrepreneurship program, a financial literacy program. Right, okay, let me get you some fundamentals. Like, all right, let's get to work. Like, okay, I'll be right back. It's small things. Stand up. I mean, putting the right personnel in place. Like, all right, come on, guys, we got to raise our standard. We talk about academic standards. Let's raise our professional standards. All right, let's talk about, look, my background is strategic planning. Think about it. I've worked in Hamburg, I've worked in Madrid, I've worked in Tokyo, and I worked in England. Right, they left that out, but that was okay. I worked in 4 countries as a strategic consultant. Look, so when I talk about what I talk about, like, guys, they paid me to do this worldwide. That's how I rolled as a kid. Think about it, $4.5 billion portfolio at 33. Our digest was only 4.2 billion when I came in. I was doing strategic pricing for entire portfolio, business banking, regional banking, corporate banking. That all was important for you guys. So when I'm pushing on the staff, like, okay, y'all know who y'all talking to, right? You do know my background, right? Now, I'm gonna let this go, but I get it to my citizens. If I've ever offended any one of you or anything I've ever done, it was never intentional. My goal was just like, look, I told you I wasn't Obama when I came in now. I told Bishop Brown when he put his hands on me, like, okay, Kelly, run. I'm like, okay, Bishop, you really want me to go up there and do this? I'm in the church, I'm serving, right? Business ministry, that's what I do. Y'all gonna put me up there? Go get it. All right. I got the work done. Right? This was not my Zion. This was not my purpose. This was not my call. I had my life planned for something totally different. But I surrendered to this thing. Think about it, guys. 15 years. Now I hear the narrative of God. You do that. You sacrifice. You show a commitment to the people in such a way like, look, I got this. To all my life, okay, I've done all I can. My last breath, I fought everything. Wouldn't let anything come in here. I promoted you guys. The best for District 2. So if I think about all the things, and again, to highlight, the county will be fine. The next generation is going to come along. They're going to do their thing. The last thing I really want to talk about, because again, I'm not going to go long today because I've got this moment, but I want to talk about, as you guys know, that I got a call today from the paper, and they were asking me a question. Well, I heard that, are you running again in 2024? And I'm like, no, of course. Everybody knows I'm not running in 2024. At least the people who put me in office, I said, I'm going to give them one more term. Every time I said, I'm going to give you one more term, one more term, one more term. But this was truly my last term. So the question was sort of interesting. But I said, okay, he says, but why would you be leaving? I said, well, that's the operative question. It's time. There's nothing I have not accomplished on behalf of you, District 2. There's nothing that I have not tackled and stood up for. But there's a season, there's an absolute season that I believe that everybody has, right? Your effectiveness is what they call the law of diminishing returns. At some point, for every ounce of energy I put into fighting, the return comes down. So I said all that to say that yes, I am not returning to I won't call it the Oval Office, but the courthouse at the end of 2024. More specifically, as of probably half hour ago, I did tender my retirement to the Secretary of State, and it will be effective December 31st, 2023, in about 43 days. That's it, guys. I mean, that's it. I've got to give you back your power. It's been wonderful. What a run. Great. I love what I've championed for. I stood up. I tried to be that standard bearer, like, okay, guys, here's how we plan. Here's how we advocate. Here's how we engage. Get out there with your citizens. Think about it. I engage you guys. You know I'm very accessible, very transparent. Y'all know everything about me, including everybody else. But it's my time. My season is like, that's it. I've got to move on. I've got new opportunities. Look, I got to go to a higher weight class. All those things. You know, I've done well. But I always thought that at some point there's something about term limits. And while I don't advocate that per se, because again, the citizens determine your term, it's just the fact that, okay, that's a good run. Think about it. I'm the lone, Lisa Watson did a great job in chronicling all the commissioners since 1870, all the chairs and all the district. I'm like, wow, look at this history. I'm like, oh, Lori Fulton, I didn't know you were, really? I mean, look at the list. It was a list of names, about 100 people. But to be on that list, right? To be on the list, it was what about 3 deaths, 4 resignations, and 5 retirements, some number like that. I'm just in that group. I've had that season, 4 terms. My body work speaks for itself. I'm all over the county. I know I've done a great job. I don't need affirmation to know I did well, but it was by you. Like, I know I can go to sleep tonight. As the video says, as we woke this morning. Well, as I sleep tonight, I know I did well on your behalf. But here's the thing, as it relates to the next generation, who is going to join the dais? That's going to be interesting. Candidates. Now, here's what I got. Y'all know me. Look, if you're going to run, you got to be committed. You especially for District 2. You've got to be committed. Don't come down here if you just want to be up here and get into parties and walk around and get titles and be on committees. I mean, you got to put some real work in. So I've encouraged you guys, just like with me. I'm like, okay, I'm not endorsing anybody. No, don't even ask me. They got to earn this, just like I did. Earn it. Show the people. Get out there and talk to them like I did. Get out there and show them. Express what you're going to do. What I did was great, but I think you should do better than me. Go higher. Do more. Be intentional. But do you. You can't do it my way. Don't ever think you can fill my shoes. But I want you to fill your own shoes, whoever that new candidate will be. But again, I am just so encouraged. I can't even go on about empty, because at the end of the day, look, my work already speaks for itself. I just want to say, you know, it was such an honor. What a run. What a run. I thank my peers. Again, everybody I've ever worked with, I'll close on that. Tom Worthen, David Latham, Freddie Ashman, Mike Mulcair, Henry Mitchell, Ann Jones-Guider, Madam Chair, Dr. Ramona Jackson-Jones. Who else am I missing? Attorney Carthen. I got Alcaraz, Commissioner Mark Alcaraz. I got Ricky Dobbs. I got, of course, Phil Miller. Did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody. That was the list. Couldn't get nothing done without them. And working with them on their stuff, guys. So yes, you do make a decision county-wide, but at the same point, you still got to get stuff done. You still got to walk the halls and talk to each other. You still have to communicate. And it would, what a run. I had 2 terms in the minority and 2 in the majority. What an experience. It was great. Just listen to the different ideologicals and just like, wow. But we can balance it, guys. It works. It's an ebb and flow. It's not a cancel, guys. I mastered this. Like, no, I got this. No, everybody just needs to see themselves included. It's all good. It's an ebb and flow. It's good. We can coexist. It was great. But it was a pleasure to work alongside with them, but also, really more importantly, serving you. So with that being said, I'm going to close this out. Again, my name is Kelly Robinson. I am distinguished and the Honorable District 2 Commissioner for about 44 days of District 2 Douglas County. Thank you all. Good night.